Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Imagine that we lived in a society where people could walk around wearing a face mask to hide their identity with the sole intention of bullying people and to cause upset without any consequences. That would be unacceptable. In fact, nearly impossible, as the police can be called and the culprits would be dealt with. But we have an online society which allows that to happen. Now, I only ever use Facebook, which is a great way to communicate with people, and most people on there use it sensibly and safely. But we all know that hiding behind a keyboard can bring the worst out in people, and lots of us have been guilty of reacting too quickly to a comment, or saying the wrong thing, or reading it the wrong way, but that happens in real life anyway. Maybe some of us should actually be breathalyzed before logging onto Facebook, as I'm sure that alcohol can sometimes play a part. But hiding behind a screen sometimes means that people act differently to the way they act in person. It can bring a nasty side out. If people want to be nasty, that's their right to be nasty, but they should stand up and be counted and be identified if they want to be nasty. As MPs, we get our fair share of abuse online, and the sad thing is, I've sort of accepted that being an MP as like an occupational hazard. And when I say abuse, I mean personal threats, threatening messages about me, my wife, my family, my children, my friends, and sadly it's even worse for female MPs and MPs of colour. It's unacceptable. Now, I know that MPs aren't, the nation's favourite people, politicians aren't, but does that justify the level of abuse that we get? I don't think it does. Now, some people wish to remain anonymous when reaching out for support or whistleblowing, and that's acceptable. And this could be somebody wishing to reach out or warn somebody about a new partner they've got in their life that's been abusive or a criminal in the past. And I think that we need to find somewhere online, a safe place online for these people to go to make sure that they're listened to without being ridiculed or laughed at, and to feel safe. So maybe that's something we could look at, online, a safe place. Now, lockdown has meant that many of us have spent more and more time online, and sadly, for many of us, that's meant more abuse, more threats, and the like. And in my constituency, I've got a little girl called Jossie. She's got Down syndrome, and she's a beautiful, bright, and loving little 5-year-old girl, and her mother campaigns online to raise awareness for Down syndrome, and proudly displays Jossie's pictures online. Now, trolls in my area thought it was a good idea to lift Jossie's picture off the internet and put a noose over her head and make fun about it to Jossie's sister. This would not happen in the outside world without immediate, swift consequences, and the online world should be no different. I stand with Jossie.